So I originally built this for another video showing my 9 steps how to actually complete any Minecraft builds. If you do want to see that, then feel free to click on the card, but otherwise I'm going to give a tour because I didn't actually do that in the video. So this is it. It's a cabin in the mountains of Andia. It's really up north, so I'll put a picture up right now. It's also facing west here, so you can see that I put it to sunset, so we get to see the beautiful ocean all the way down there. And once we do get inside, then you're going to see all the beautiful light that's pouring through the space. Originally, the house was facing this way. Since the sun does go from the east over the south and then set in the west at night, so some of the window placements might not make sense anymore, since it was designed to capture a lot of the sunlight to heat the space. But it's a bit different now because these windows are facing north and you don't get sunlight on the north side, which means these windows, they're actually losing heat rather than helping gather some of the energy from the sun. So if we come up here, you can see the roof line here. Originally, this part here was quite a bit lower in the original house, but since this terrain was up quite a bit higher, I had to increase the height. So if we come down here, it is quite a big, intimidating wall here. So you have this nice pool here. If it is a hot summer day, then feel free to take a dip in the pool here. I have these nice chairs here if you want to sit here and relax. I also have these nice little ferns here on top of some sugar cane. And I love to use this. I'm pretty sure I stole it from someone, but I think it looks pretty nice. Back here, you have this shed, so you can keep all your pool noodles and your floaties in here. So you can jump in there whenever you want. And this door, this is just a back door into the house here, but I'll show you that once we get inside. So we come down this way. It's this nice pathway here. I wanted to keep the materials very natural. I didn't want to use anything like concrete. So we have all this wood, all these local materials. So you can see that this wood is the same type as these ones over here. So essentially the idea is to cut down some of these trees around here rather than importing wood. So by doing this, you're going to save a lot of greenhouse gas emissions when building this house because you don't have to lug them by truck for, however long it might be. So the idea with this deck is that it wraps around the entire house. I also wanted to make it feel very light and airy from the inside. That's why I have all these really big windows. So not great for privacy if you do have a bunch of people over, but this is a house for introverts. So you can come over, you can look at my house, and then you can leave. I also want you to notice the colors that I use throughout this house. So lots of brown with this wood. And then a lot of the furniture, it's sort of this brownish orange. And then I have a lot of green, and then basically every other color is some form of grayscale. So you have gray down here, you have black, and then you have white and then light gray here. There's lots of little plants around here, these little planters, and then these waving plants. Feels very nice, very atmospheric. Sitting here, you could sit here all day and just look at these leaves, even though you don't get a view this way, but it is very nice, and you do really feel like you're a part of the forest. And then here we have this bedroom with all this natural light pouring in. Now, obviously, it's not great if you don't have blinds and you want to go to bed at 5 p.m. for some reason. Unless you live in Canada. In that case, then it's going to be dark at 4. So there is a door here. I know it's a little bit hard to see, but you can see that there is a little bit of a glass pane sticking out here. So we have this here, this nice, really nice plants. You have some clothes here, and this bedroom, and then a little bit of decor right here. And then up top here, we have this really nice skylight. I really love to use skylights because it just adds so much to a space. And then in here, we have this washroom here. This is an ensuite. You have your toilets, little light here, so it's not super dark. You have this shower in here, very minimalist. This is just a lever. And then over here, you have your sinks and your mirrors right here. So back here, this is the rest of the house, but I'm gonna go back outside and then work our way around. So then I'll show you that in a minute. So if we come this way, lots of light. Then you can see it's sort of elevated off the ground here, and I do have structural supports right in there. There are 4 of them. If we come this way, there is this line, this line, this line, and this line, and directly underneath you have a support for each of them. So this is your view. I would say this is at least $1 million view. Nice big house like this, and then you have these beautiful views. Really steep cliffs though. If you're eating some Timbits up here, it's probably a bad idea, so don't drop them, otherwise you're going to lose them. And then you're gonna have some angry Canadians running after you, so yeah, maybe don't do that. Over here, there is the kitchen. Nice little breakfast nook here. So let's come this way. This here, we're back at the main entrance again, but yeah, here we go. So main entrance. So as soon as you walk in here, you're greeted by these 2 couches and then a seat here. And then you have this table here. So this is actually in an item frame. You can see how I can rotate it. That's actually the item frame itself in CubedPack. But yeah, so we have these walls here, light gray, dark gray, just so it makes it a little bit nicer. And then if we come in here, we have this kitchen. I decided to make the counters twice as deep, just you know, I felt this is more of like a modern kitchen here compared to the rest of the house. So you cook something here, the vapor goes up here into there, and then up and then out through this piping system. So it's a nice spot, a lot of grayscale here. But in here, you see all this natural light. You have this really big seat right here. You have this nice spot in the middle where, you know, just put your coffee on it or something if you're having it in the morning. And then you have this really big L-shaped couch that you can sit on here. And then here I decided not to add a back to it so that, you know, you can sit here and then sort of put your feet up if you want to. And then over here, this is sort of my classic design that I've used for years, even before we got this furniture here. Lots of greenery back here, a little bit more back here. You have a shelf. And then this hanging planter up there. But it makes for a really nice space. So it's nice and wide, nice and open. I had this really big spot here and I didn't really want to make it one giant room. So I decided to add this here as a divider. And then you can tell I like my greenery, right? So this is a great way to use some space if you have an empty corner. Just throw a bunch of plants in there. So right here you have this other couch that you can sit here and watch TV. And the reason I put this here is because I would like to sit here and watch a hockey game. That is what I would like to do. This right now, this is 5:30, so the sun goes up to right here. This is the highest spot. But once it does go a little bit lower, you are going to get some glare on this TV. But that's fine because hockey games don't start until 7 p.m. Anyway, so if we go this way, we have this big column in the middle, and then we have this beam that goes all the way that way for some structural support, and then this one here that goes that way. So this is the dining room, and then you have 4 chairs here, and I'm pretty sure I stole this chair design from someone. Up here we have a light. You have the end rods up there that do emit light. You can see a little bit up there. But back here we have a washroom. So you have a bath/shower, decorative greenery up there, a tiny little skylight way up there. You have your sink and your mirror and your toilets. Back in here, this is the bedroom that we were looking at earlier. This here, so the reason that this is elevated and then this here, this is a staircase that is also elevated, is because the terrain in the original world was elevated going up this way. So instead of excavating it, I decided just to build up. So it's a bit of a wonky staircase, but you can come up here. Bit of texture going on the ground here. And then we have some of our models to make a workstation. So it's my little office. I have my chair. I have my laptop, of course, with our projects there. Anyway, so we have laptop, and then we have this nice keyboard here. Then we have this giant TV that I'm using as a monitor for some reason. And then I put this lamp up here because I felt it was a little bit dark at night. But yeah, that's my office. So if we come this way, that's it for the inside. So let's go back here. Then we have this staircase that leads up here. Oh, where does this go? Oh, look, we're outside again. Told ya. But yeah, that's it for this tour. If you liked this video, feel free to click like. If you really liked it, click subscribe. And if you do want to see how I actually built this, then check out the video in the description. Also, let me know what your favorite part of this house is in the comments. And if you want me to make more videos of me just touring my builds like this, then feel free to let me know as well.